shut up and sit down.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Build, Paint, Play. I'm Dave.
And I'm Jake. Welcome back, everybody. Dave and I missed you. I had a bunch of people tell us over the last couple of days that they missed us. They couldn't wait for us to come back, so it's good to be back.
Yay! It does feel good. It is nice, and of course, I knew that there would be one button that I would forget to press, and it was the Go Live one. I started the stream, and then I had to press Go Live, and it was right there. But I did remember to press it eventually. But all good.
That's all good. Yeah, I was like, that's weird. It's just a picture.
Just a picture. It's not doing anything just yet. Cool. Scott is in the chat. Jeff is in the chat. Luis is in the chat. Josh is there. He says, finally, I can hobby again. Good to hear. What are you working on, Josh? Let me guess. Is it Little Tiny Men's? Is it Legions Imperialis? Brendel NZ. Is that Alan, I think? Good to be here. 11 a.m. on a work day. At least being self-employed, I have an excuse to be watching YouTube while working. Yes, indeed. Excellent. And Josh says, yes, Legions Imperialis and Eldar, which is great. Fantastic. So, Jake and I are both going to be coughing a little bit during the show. And if you see one or the other of us fall asleep, just nudge the other one, get him to wake us up. But we're going to be very tired. It has been quite the relaxing break.
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, this past weekend was crazy.
Yep. So
what? Oh, so what do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about hobbying stuff? Do you just want to jump into a recap? Like, what do we want to do?
I think I know I've got a whole bunch of hobby stuff, but it'd probably be best to spread it out over the next few weeks. So okay. I'm going to do that. Except I'm going to say I've been doing some Imperial Agents, some Chaos Space Marines, some Gene Steel Occults, and a warband for an Inquisitor 28 event later in the year.
Nice. So, there was also some more hobbying news that dropped yesterday. The new Blood Angels.
I got some pictures. I made sure I put those pictures in so that we could talk about them specifically for you.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you? Have you been doing any hobby? Just a quick recap.
Yeah, I did. So with the release of new, was it 4th edition Age of Sigmar? Ben and the guys at the store are like huge Sigmar fans. So Ben really likes Spearhead. So he put a challenge out to the whole staff and the whole team that we all start new Spearheads. So I just finished building. Well, I'll show them next week. They're all packed up, but I just finished building the Vampire Counts, or Soulblight Gravelords Spearhead. I built it's like the 3 Crypt Ghoul dudes, like the big bat guy, Vargeists. I built 3 Vargeists. I built 20 of the Death Rattle skeletons. That kit is a mess, and I built 3 or 5 of the Blood Knights. That kit is amazing. The Blood Knights are awesome. They're super detailed. They're really, really cool. The skeletons are really cool looking. They are so fiddly though. And like you and I talked about this a little bit. At first I was like, oh, it's just a bunch of bodies and a bunch of arms. I can just mix and match. And you can mix and match the arms because they're all like a flat join. Yep. And it doesn't really matter. They all have swords and shields or whatever. But the front torso and the back torso have robes. And then the robes are all kind of flowing a certain way. And then there's a specific set of legs that fits into them. And those 3 pieces are not interchangeable. Like if you get the wrong ones, they don't fit together.
Right.
So I was just like, I don't like having to hunt down like, oh, I need piece 17 and I need piece like 21. And like you had said before, like the new the Hearthkin, if they had kept them all together, Like that would have been cool, but they're not. It's like you need a head off of this sprue 1 and like the legs off of sprue 2 and then the front torso off of sprue 1. And I was like, this is it. Why did they do it like this? But
who knows? Who knows?
Oh yeah, Josh, perfect. How many legs broke? I was pretty good. I think I broke three out of the 20. I think I broke 3 pairs out of the 20.
Not too bad. I'm also going to say Jonathan Palermo's in the chat saying "G'day, boys." Michael Baker has joined us. We met Michael at San Diego Comic-Con. We've got some cool photos. We've got a lot of photos from that coming up.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of photos tonight, so we'll have a big run through loads of cool stuff.
Yeah, Michael and his boy were there. They painted up some.
His daughter was there as well. But yeah, he said my son created a game board on his way home from Comic-Con to play with the pieces he painted. He's even writing how to play the game. That's fantastic.
Nice.
Starting game design early. That's wicked. Well done. Justin, yep, we'll come back to the Lamates a little bit later. As I said, I couldn't not put those pictures in for Jake.
Yeah, I mean,
Josh at Crown of Command says, "Hey guys, good to see you both back. Good to see you two in the chat." Josh Sawyer, your legs broke. Steven's in the chat. Tabletop Super Show. Hello everyone. We've got a photo with Steven. We met Steven, and Steven helped me out with one of the painting classes at San Diego. Josh Potter says he's getting ready to head out to Gen Con. Have a great stream, lads. I'll catch the video on demand so I can hear about the big SDCC adventures.
I have a Gen Con update. You guys are getting a kick out of this.
Yeah.
So originally I was gonna go to Gen Con, and then with knowing that Ben was gonna be out, my business partner Ben was gonna be out for a couple weeks, at least a month with the baby, and we didn't know when it was coming. We knew it was sometime during the summer, so it was like late June, July, early August, and it was like we don't really know where the baby is. So he was like, "Would it be cool if you don't go to Gen Con?" I was like, "Yeah, I just won't go." So then his wife ended up having the baby like July 3rd, I think.
Yep.
So I was like, I mean, technically I could go to Gen Con. And he was like, yeah, he's like, I'll be back by then. I'll be back for August. And then I was gonna go, and then so I was back on track. And then after we talked about with Cat and Army Painter, like they're like, we're not selling. I was like, well, I don't really need to be at Gen Con. I just won't go. And after this last week, I'm exhausted. So I was like, I don't need to go.
Yep.
So we get on the plane rather, and I get all these texts. So friends of mine at like 2 different booths, and then friends of mine at Ultra Pro were like, "Hey, are you going to be at Gen Con?" And I was like, "No, I'm not going this year." And they're like, "Oh, we thought you were going." And I was like, I was like, but I'm not going to go. Why? What's going on? And apparently they had a bunch of contractors flake on them, like literally like in the last couple of days.
Wow.
So they're missing a ton of people for their booth. So they're like, "We'll fly you out here. We'll pay you for work in the booth. We'll give you a per diem for like food and stuff. Like, is there any way you could do it?" And I was like, I mean, I could, but yeah. So I gave it a pass. I'm not going to go. It's too last minute. It's nuts. I'm not doing it.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say you were going.
No.
Next week, we're going to be talking we're going to have Josh on. It'll be the first time having Josh on the show, which will be great. And Josh is going to do, basically, he's going to be telling us all the fun stuff that happened at Gen Con. He's going to be taking loads of photos this weekend and sending us through. Anybody else who's watching who's going to Gen Con, please feel free to post your Gen Con photos in the Build Paint Play community Facebook page so we can check all of those out while the rest of us who aren't going are sitting home with extreme FOMO. Exactly. Fantastic. Cutthroat Comics is here. Says San Diego Comic Con was the bomb this year. Matt Bowles has joined us. Hey Matt.
What's up, Matt?
Josh from Crown of Command says nice T-shirt, Jake.
Oh yeah, you like that?
What's that one?
It's Inuyasha. It's basically a D&D campaign in like fantasy feudal Japan is like the best way I can describe it. Like Inuyasha's the fighter, Kagome's the cleric, Sango is like a fighter subclass, and then the Moroku is like the monk. It's really fun. It's ridiculous. There's like a million episodes.
Excellent. Well, I was going to see if Josh wanted to comment on my shirt.
The Church of Skins and
of Skins and Heart is the name of the album. The Church is the band.
Nice.
They're an Australian band, so
very nice.
Being Australian, so you might recognize it, but maybe not. Anyway, Cool. Should we jump straight in?
Yeah, sure. Well, let me show off my haul first of all.
Oh, okay.
So, for those of you who weren't paying attention, Dave and I were at San Diego Comic-Con last week, and we got to we were flown out there to do all of their paint lessons. So we did 3 lessons a day, except for Sunday we did 2. So 3 on Thursday, 3 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, which is basically 4 more lessons than we did last year. Last year was just me flying solo. Dave had Historicon, and our buddy Rick was supposed to help out, and he came down with he ended up in the hospital with something. I forget what it was.
He came down with a heart attack, I think.
Right. He came down with he had a heart complication. I don't think he actually had a heart attack, but
okay.
But yeah, it was apparently your shirt's fine too. So it was so it was a lot. It was hectic with just me running around trying to do all of it. It was a lot, but we had a good time. And my buddy Chris from 9th Level Games, he helped cover us, and it was great having him there because Dave and I always like to have somebody to play off of and have a conversation. But this year it was great. Like every one of our classes was packed. We had to turn a bunch of people away, which obviously neither of us ever liked doing. It was just we didn't have the space. Yeah. But we modified a little bit. I think next year will be better. It seems like we'll be able to accommodate probably 30% more people, and we're going to probably add another lesson, or we're going to add another person. So we'll be able to swap stuff in and out, and get Dave and I away from the booth so we can do some other stuff and hang out down on the floor. I told Scott and Jeff, I had messaged them if they wanted more of the Marvel United stuff, and I went to the CMON booth and I got the limited stuff. So I will take care of you guys after this. The show itself was really fun. It's the biggest show that I do. I know that David said it felt like percentage equivalent to Gen Con. Yeah. But the show itself is about three or 4 times the size of Gen Con. It's just the building is so much bigger that it helps out.
And there's a lot more stuff happening outside of the vendor hall as well.
Yeah. So yeah, there was like that Crunchyroll party on the back, and there was like that whole park. So people were down there a lot with their kids, and then there's Hall H, which we didn't even go to. That's where all like the Marvel reveals are, and like all the Hollywood types are. Like that's a Hall H. That's like kind of an add-on to the end of the building, and that can hold something like I think it's like 20,000 people or 17,000 people on its own. Yeah.
I just realized you were going to be showing your haul, but we're talking about the show. How about we put your haul into the end of the description of the show?
It's too late.
Oh, okay. My goodness. You had to buy another seat for all of that, didn't you?
No, I managed to. So this is probably
like 40 pounds of books.
It's a lot, but so this one in particular, this one is very heavy. Yep. This is the Avengers Complete Collection. It's like 2 inches thick. It's huge. So, and then this was the Con exclusive.
Okay.
That's the Zombicide Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
But no, it's fun. I had to, thank God I emptied out half of my suitcase. I was amazed I got everything into my suitcase. The half that had like your hoodie and Cat's hoodie and all that stuff I brought out for the booth, that was basically empty. So I managed to wrap all of the comics like in clothes and then pack them in there and then zip that half shut, and then all of my stuff fit in the other half. Right. But I mean, I had to literally like lay on top of my suitcase to zip it shut. It was like, and then of course it got pinged by security, and I warned the girl, I was like, that thing is ready to burst. I was like, so when you open it, stuff's going to go, it's like a piñata. And she was like, okay. So she like unzipped it a little bit and kind of like opened it and put her hand there and like opened it up. She was very good. She was great.
Excellent. A Comic-Con piñata.
Oh God. Well, because I didn't want to say explode, because I'm like, then I'm going to get tackled by TSA. So, but no, it was nuts. It was a good time.
Fantastic. That's awesome. Just quickly as well, Alan said Gen Con looked cool. I've got my flights and accommodation for Adepticon all booked. First trip to the USA next year. Awesome. Good to see you again, Alan. Very cool.
Maybe we'll talk to the guys, because they have tons of room now. Maybe we can do like a Build Paint Play like live event. We can have a bunch of people there, and we can at least do like a meet and greet, have everybody kind of come hang out. We'll do something. So
there's some stuff I'm working on.
Nice.
Working on. Under the radar at the moment until it actually gets all approved and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, we should. There should be something fun that we're able to do at Adepticon. But yes, are we ready? Are you ready to look at some photos?
Yeah. What do you got?
I'm going to switch us to this, and then I'm going to talk everybody through it again. Right, click the share screen, click window. Where is it? There it is. Okay, a couple of housekeeping points. Not points, housekeeping things to sort out first. At the moment, so our buddy and former guest, Joey Maguire, is working with our friends at Black Site Studios, also former guests. And currently they have a back room, which is their pre-order sort of system for the different projects that they work on. But they're doing This Is Not a Test second edition. So that is running at the moment. I think it's running for another couple of weeks. So you can check out a link down in the notes below. But they will be, they've got a lot of cool stuff. They got books, they've got a deck of cards, they've got mini like gangs that you can buy that are physical. You can buy STLs of the gangs, all sorts of stuff going on there. So
the guy on the right is great. The guy with the gas mask and the tentacle arm.
Yeah, the tentacle arm is awesome, isn't it? Wrapped around that hammer. I love the big mutie at the back. It's really giving off big sloth vibes.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, looks excellent. Next,
it's very Necromunda looking.
Yeah, it's got that going on for sure. Oops, why did that decide to go there? Here we go. Next up, so Tim Marsh is from Journeyman Miniatures. Tim has. I was chatting with Tim quite a bit at Adepticon this year. He does a lot of fantastic painting himself. These pieces that are in that image are by him. But he also commissions artists to sculpt miniatures, and he has a whole business selling miniatures. But he's going to be at our friend Clay's store, his new store in Huntsville, Alabama. So anybody who is in the Huntsville or northern Georgia, Tennessee area, check out the Weekend Workshop.
I assumed it was Huntsville, Alabama, because it doesn't have an Alabama. It just says Huntsville, USA, and I was like,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's Alabama, but
yeah, it's I think somebody decided actually if Tim put this together. Tim's from the UK, living in Spain. Might not have known which state it was in.
If someone else wants to check out anything else cool while they're there in Huntsville, Space Camp is in Huntsville.
Camp. Exactly. The other perfect thing to do in Huntsville. Again, links below. Then I thought we'd have these just quickly. Jake, what as the consummate Blood Angels expert?
So
about the new Lamantes.
I like him a lot. I think he's cool. I'm a little bummed out about the head. I think it's cool. And a lot of people are already making all these jokes about how he's wearing a ball gag, BAAL.
Yeah.
It's because of the way this photo was taken. I saw a high res of him. If you zoom in, those tubes just go to the side of his mask like every other mask he's had.
Right.
In his mouth, it's not a ball. It's literally the whole idea is it's the vampire teeth open, and in his mouth, the silver that's an Imperial Eagle.
Okay.
So his mouth is open and there's an Imperial Eagle in it.
Right.
It's fine. My big issue with it is the original Lamartes, and they've changed it each time. The original Lamartes has just there's no bottom jaw on the skull.
Right.
It's just like a top skull. And then he usually has this big sort of almost halo array, like a lot of the Sanguinary Guard do.
Yeah.
And then in the second version of him, the one where he has the Crozius and the pistol out like this, where he's on foot, he has the crazy skeleton feet, which I love. Like he's the opposite of Dante. Instead of having like the Greek and Romanesque like sandal feet, he has skeleton toes, which just looks cool. But his helmet, they shrunk the thing, so it's like a thick layer of spikes, almost like a halo. And then on this one, they just gave him like a band. And I wanna, if I buy this model, I'm not using that head. I'm probably just gonna use the older Lamarte's head. But otherwise, he's great. Like him coming down the stairs looking like he's gonna kill you, because he is is dynamite. He always needs a jetpack. He's the only chap with jump pack model that they make anymore, which is phenomenal. he's brutal. And unless I haven't seen the new codex, but at the moment he is still an upgrade for a Death Company with Jump Pack's squad. He's not like, you can't run him by himself. He's like an add-on for a specific unit.
Yeah.
But his rules are insane. Like every edition he's had awesome rules. I don't know what it's going to look like this time, but hopefully they kind of stay on pace with that. So
yeah. Josh Shoy says is he non-Primaris? He looks a little short and stocky, but badass. I think he's Primaris. I think rather than having the curved sort of flange on top of the knee pads, he's got that slightly pointier one.
Yeah, I believe. And if you look at the top of his foot, he has that extra plate, like on his right leg, the left side of the shot, the red knee pad. If you go down under the saltier that's on his shin, there's that upper greave, that upper sabaton cover that sticks out. That's only on Primaris armor. That's only on Mark 10. So I mean, again, there's nothing for scale here. I'm assuming he's Primaris, and his jump pack in the 360 shot. His jump pack is the new Primaris Assault Intercessors backpack. So again, they're pushing everything to the new size, which makes sense. Like he's great, but he's one of my favorite characters too. He's just an absolute beast.
Excellent. Astrath the Grim.
Blood Jesus. Like he's pretty great. Like I love his armor. His armor's always been the best part about him. They basically took Gary Oldman's armor from Dracula and put it on a Marine, which is dope. I like that they changed his legs. The old Astrath, his legs look a little chunky, like they don't quite match up. So he looks a lot more like the Sanguinor or like Sanguinius in this. He's a lot more streamlined.
Right.
His backpack is amazing. Like it's the best backpack in the range. I don't particularly like when people give him like the zombie mask.
Right.
I don't like the weird like blue skin. His axe position is way better. He actually looks like he's going to do some damage. Again, I'm assuming they've bumped him up. Like again, nothing for scale here, and he's definitely not wearing Mark 10 armor, but I'm assuming he's been Primarisified and he's like bigger. But yeah, I mean, otherwise this model's great. Like he has some of the coolest armor in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it is super cool. I just noticed that his right shoulder pad there is just full of skulls.
Yeah. His left one's cool. It has like a modified, almost like a saltier with it has like a big blood drop and it's on a skull. Like his whole armor suit is great. The thing I'm excited about is this model means that we're going to get a new Sanguinor.
Right. Yeah.
And they've already kind of teased a little bit. They're like, oh, I know this is only black models. We'll probably get some more red ones and some more gold ones, wink, wink. And I was like, okay. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, when they released them last time, the Sanguinor and Astrath came out at the same time. So I'm assuming we're going to get a new Sanguinor. We're going to get new Sanguinary Guard. I think there's the upgrade sprue that's in this box is all new. Yeah. Like this is great. Yeah. I'm a huge fan. I'm excited that they did this. I'm going to buy the box even though I don't need it because I want the limited edition codex.
Yeah.
And the data cards. And that's basically, if I were to buy that separately, that's like $85 or something. So I'm like, well, the box is only $200 or whatever it's going to be. I don't think they've released it yet, but
yeah. But I think they do look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice update. Fantastic. Okay, I think the next thing that I've got here is, here we go. So before we talk about San Diego Comic-Con,
that's not Blood Angels.
It's not Blood Angels at all. We're going to have a quick look at the category winners from the Wargames Illustrated Presents the Historicon Painting Competition, which I have been fortunate enough to run for the last, I think it's about 12 years now, but this is our 9th sort of incarnation of it, thanks to COVID. But yeah, this so Historicon is a compared to San Diego Comic-Con is a very small event, but it's actually quite a big event. I think this year they had probably 2,500 people from across the country and internationally coming to play a whole bunch of different war games, not just historical war games, but there are sci-fi and fantasy stuff there as well. For the painting competition, we have the first model on the left there is from Aaron Simmons. This is in the historical miniature single figure or historical single miniature category.
That guy looks like he rolled out of bed because somebody knocked on his front door and he like grabbed his cuirass, his sword and shield, and like didn't have time to get out of his underwear or sandals and was like, I gotta go kill that guy. I don't have time to put on my shin plates or my helmet or anything. I don't have time for that.
That's the joy of the Greek militia. It takes you a couple of minutes to get ready. But one of the things I should have shown, I should have had a small inset on that shield. This is an Athenian warrior, and on that shield, it's got a fantastic, there's a fantastic freehand owl of Athena.
How big is he?
This is a 54 millimeter figure.
Okay.
So, so from the bottom of his toes there to the top of his head's about 54, 55 millimeters, so just over 2 inches. But yeah, beautiful work there from Aaron. On the right is a long-range desert group, sort of gun truck.
It's a technical.
It is a technical, yeah. It's one of the first technicals. So going back to World War I. So this would have been tooling around the North African deserts in 1941. This is Chris Vargas, I think, or Chris Velas. But this is in the historical unit and war machine 25 millimeter and up category. But lovely piece there. Some great detail. That the checks on that sort of head covering, really great detail there as well.
They're just a bunch of innocent Bedouins delivering blankets, obviously.
But yeah, awesome work. Great weathering on it as well. That's super cool. Yep, as Brett said. Actually, I saw Brett at Historicon, so it was very cool to see him there. And this was in the historical unit war machine, 20 mil, basically small scale, so 20 mil or below. And this piece was done by Ed Key.
I love Dazzle camo.
Yeah. It is amazing.
It's ridiculous, but I love it.
Yeah. This piece, the amazing thing about this was, so on this ship there are, you know, where you see that cursor, up here there are 4 guys on the forecastle here. There are about another 5 or 6 here. It's 3 or 4 back here, and then sort of scattered around the decks. There are more models there. All of these are 3 millimeters tall, and which means tiny.
Yeah, they're like that's half the size of Imperialis because that's 6 mil, right?
Imperialis is 8 mil, so it's less than half the size. But the way that Ed had painted them, you could actually tell which ones were wearing life preservers and which ones weren't. But yeah, it was beautiful stuff.
Nice.
Dave Hummel has joined us. Hi, Dave. Welcome. We're just at the moment talking about some of the winners from the Historicon Painting Competition. But yeah, Josh, it was absolutely amazing. I don't know if, again, I didn't put in a whole, multiple photos of any of the winners. These photos are going to be going onto the War Games Illustrated website, as well as into an issue, I think the October issue of War Games Illustrated. So you'll be able to get some more shots in there.
I like how he made his own Green Knight. That's great.
Yeah, so this was the fantasy single miniature category. It's Andrew Waxtell won this one, and this is a much larger piece. It's got a fantastic tree sort of built up behind it, done with some very fine sort of sea, I think it's called seafoam kind of foliage. But this one also won bronze. He won 3rd place at Golden Demon in Chicago. But it was an absolutely beautiful piece. And yeah, sculpted from the Age of Sigmar, Cities of Sigmar, Mounted Marshal, I think it's called.
Yeah, I've said before, the Mounted Marshal is like one of my favorite horse pieces. It's such a unique take because he's coming downhill, almost always the withers of the horse is lower than its shoulders, and
Yeah.
this is one of the few pieces where that's not the case. It just has such a great sense of like movement.
Yep. And adds to the weight of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The weight of that piece. Yeah, it's beautiful. Brett's asking if the one on the right is statuesque. Yep, it's from Statuesque Minis, who are out of Scotland. It's left at the bottom of the garden. So Andrew Ray has been sculpting a series of kind of cloth toys or dolls that have been left at the bottom of the garden and come to life. And this is a sort of the old cat lady kind of set. But
I like it. Very cool.
Yeah, beautiful.
The detail he has like on the leaves and stuff in the foreground.
Yep. Fantastic detail there, and
They look like she's surrounded by those ugly dolls. That's
yeah,
what they look like.
I do. It's got a fantastic texture on there as well. There's a what do you call it? It's like a cloth texture, which looks.
Like you did like cross hatching.
Yeah. So that one was painted that. I think that was Aaron Simmons as well. But yeah, beautiful work. Next up, these two pieces were from Andrew Waxtel. The one on the left is for SciFi single miniature. It's just an awesome Necron Lord there.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, looks amazing. The one of the fantastic parts was that not only did the armor and the metal of the Necron have a lot of fantastic texture to it, sort of beaten detail, but that wonderful green underlighting on the base as well.
Yeah,
really sells it. And the Warlord Titan on the right, sort of striding through that massive rock chasm.
That thing looks great. You can imagine those mountains like continuing up on, like it's working its way through the valley.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming there's like a big freehand heraldic shield between its shoulders.
It's a big banner. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, looks fantastic. Andrew won Best of Show with his with the Green Knight from previous. So that was the Best of Show piece. Last year he won Best of Show as well for a Reaver Titan, but this Warlord Titan I think is sort of head and shoulders above that Reaver. So he just keeps getting better.
Nice.
On the left, we had the winner of the youth category. So that's 16 years or under. This was Nick Jensen.
That's the troll from Blood Bowl, right? He's throwing a goblin.
Yeah. Yep. It's and photographing this miniature is like one of the most difficult things to do. Almost all miniatures have what's known as a golden angle, where it just looks best from that particular angle. And normally that means that you see some action or see it performing, like doing something, and you can tell what it's doing, but you can also see the face. This troll has this big sort of left hand up in front of its face. If you want to see the action shot.
He's throwing like this. So if
Yeah.
you put him in the golden angle, you can't see his face, but you can see what he's doing. And if you turn to see his face, he's like super linear like he is now. So you're like, what is he doing? Like, I only know what it is because I know this model.
Yeah. It is crazy. But yeah, that was Nick Jensen. On the right, it was from our Diorama category, and that was Aaron Simmons again.
Nice.
I don't know where this goblin came from, but this goblin was a larger scale as well. It's probably like 54 millimeter scale. So the goblin itself was about 35 millimeters tall. But yeah, definitely looked fantastic. Great lighting, great detail. Beautiful work.
Very nice.
And then finally, our friend Greg Zuniga won the open category with the Skater Girl.
That's great. Like the T-shirt and stuff.
Yeah, an amazing work on the. Basically, that scroll says "Roll for Initiative," and that is a D20, like a gem D20 underneath it. And yeah, I think basically from the bottom of the skateboard to the top of the headband, It's probably about, I guess, about 60 millimeters. So it gives you an idea. That's about maybe a 20 millimeter space, or a little bit less that freehand's done in.
Even the bubble gum's great. It looks real.
Yeah. Greg did an awesome job there. But that was the open category.
Is she wearing pink elbow pads?
She has a couple of like band-aids, a couple of pink band-aids crossed over a boo-boo. But yeah, lovely work.
That's great.
So that was my fun. Not the weekend just gone, but the weekend before. I was up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, checking out some awesome models. But moving right along, the rest of the show was great. Lots of fun stuff. Caught up with some friends. Did a bunch of walking around Lancaster, which is always nice and relaxing. It's super cool. Next up, San Diego.
That's it. That's that box. That's the convention hall in the distance.
Yeah, this is when I went for that walk on Thursday morning. So I flew in on Wednesday night. Met Jake. You got in around lunchtime.
Yeah, I got in at like 12:30.
Yep. So this was up, sort of looking back over towards the looking east towards the zoo. It was nice to walk around in this park in the morning. There was an area there that had a whole bunch of like horseshoe courts set up.
Interesting.
Which is really kind of weird. But not sure exactly what was going on there, but I had to take a photo of it. It's looking back from the park, looking back to downtown San Diego.
San Diego is it's a fun little city. It's definitely gonna. I think it's gonna have to go through some urban development in the next year or two. But they're still kind of rebounding. But it's a fun. As long as you stay kind of in the gas lamp, it's fine. Like what is that, 3rd Street through 6th Street, like that whole
something like that
lower area, like that's great.
Yep. But yeah, beautiful stuff. And there we go. There's starting to get a few photos of the convention center itself, or the hotels next to the convention center.
The whole town, the whole city of San Diego leans into this. So like every building within like a 6 or 8 block radius of the convention center has like ads on it, and like all the big companies pay for like huge like this, like a building wrap, like the Fox Animation one. That thing basically goes from what, like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. It goes from like the 4th floor to like the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th,
probably the 14th floor.
12, 13. It's like that's like 4 through 13.
Yep.
That's just wrapped.
Yep. Which was super cool. I had to get that photo for my daughter. She loves Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
The photo on the right there, that hotel in the distance has What We Do in the Shadows. That's what that big image is. And then that whole sort of area of tents down here this is where people line up to get into Hall H, which is just here.
Yeah, Hall H is basically everything from where the tent ends, and it goes up like 5 or 6 stories, and then it basically goes to basically where those doors end on the edge of the photo. That's Hall H.
Yeah. And
then halls like A through G, that's halls A through G.
Yeah. So they starting down here. This is what, G all the way up here. I think this is like maybe C up here.
Yeah. And then there's that walkway thing, and then there's halls A and B.
Yeah.
It's massive. It's like an Imperial ship from Battlefleet Gothic. It is just one big long Imperial starship.
Exactly. And they're probably just as difficult to get around once you're inside. You can't get anywhere quickly from any particular location.
No, not really.
But no, this was fantastic. This was taken actually from the Omni.
When we met up with Chris?
Yeah, so this is the Omni Hotel. Basically, there's a balcony up here. So
between the trees.
So basically taken from this area, looking back. Yep.
It's fun though. It's just a massive building. Like, I actually didn't go into Hall A or B like the entire show, and I usually do. But I mean, every day, Dave and I were basically across from, I think, Hall D. In between D and E is kind of where we were. So we were straight across up in the mezzanine, which you can see from the side. It's basically like it's up the top where that gap is. Yeah, like go down, go down right there. It's that gap between that top layer. Yeah, where those doors are.
Right. But it's on the other side.
But we're on the other side of it. On the other side, there's a whole like elevated like
mezzanine level.
Yeah, it's like a mezzanine. But on the backside outside, there's like an extended deck that goes out, and it's a pretty nice view. You're looking into like San Diego Harbor and stuff. It's pretty cool. But our buddy Alan, who's an artist, Alan Panicle, and Miles Wool, who's another artist, who also coincidentally found out is a Golden Demon winner from like 2006 or something. The two of them had booths in Artist Alley, which is basically down in Hall G. So they were like right before you get into Hall H. It was nuts. So I would come down and walk down and see them, and then like try to walk all the way back. And that's like a 15-minute endeavor, like walking down.
Yeah. Just quickly, TBD in the chat says the building wraps aren't allowed by local ordinance. The studios put them up anyway and pay a per day fine.
Oh yeah, we found out that there was a lot of businesses that did that sort of stuff. Like apparently there's an ordinance in San Diego that you cannot do surge rate pricing increases on hotel rooms.
Yeah.
But like literally the Monday before the show started, a bunch of hotels did like last minute surge adjustments. So they raised their prices again. And friends of ours were saying that they must have just done the math and be like, well, we'll just pay the fine. Well, the money makes up for it. So
yeah, we'll still make more money. Crazy. Mike Sibilia has joined us. Hi, Mike. And Steve says the gaming and tabletop stuff has always been on the mezzanine, where I've spent most of my time over the years, which is super cool. The next shot. Oh, this is another shot from one of my wanders around San Diego. You can see an airplane, Alaskan Airlines plane in the top left corner.
Great shot, Dave.
Just about to land. If I had noticed, I would have taken it like a second later. It would have been right between the palm tree and the telegraph pole. But I didn't get it. Anyway.
So these are some scale models with some scale terrain. That's what this is.
Yeah. This was my favorite thing that I saw on one of my morning walks. I had to take a photo of it.
I wonder if these are like two brothers that like secretly hate each other.
I think it might be.
That's pretty great.
And Vince is like the dad's name.
Yep.
Because it says since 1952. Basically, those two signs on the marquees are exactly the same. The signs on the doors are exactly the same. It's pretty crazy. Oh, looks like Steve knows Vince's. But yeah, I saw that and had a chuckle. Had to take a photo. Inside the vendor hall, Jake and I took a bit of a run around on which day was this? Was this?
I think it was Friday. That's Friday morning, I think.
Friday.
It might have been Saturday. You're right. It might have been Saturday.
It all rolled into one. But yeah, we thought we'd get a few photos there. So Jake, talk us through these.
So on the left, that's Voltron. It's the 40th anniversary for Voltron. So they did a bunch of like big giant, which that doesn't even seem right. I thought Voltron was like, oh no, I guess I thought it was longer than that. Maybe it's 40th anniversary since it was on American television.
That could be it.
Because I thought Voltron was like 1985.
Okay, well that'll be 40 years next year then.
Yeah. So I guess they're just. It must have been like when it first aired instead of like when we saw it, because I know we got it a little bit later. So, but yeah. So that thing was huge. That thing's probably bigger than Dave.
Oh yeah.
It was probably about 6 feet tall. It's pretty cool. And then the Hellboy statue. Those are the guys from what was that? Horizon Elite, I think.
Okay. Yeah,
I forget that, or Image Elite. But that's cool. That Hellboy is probably the size of like a Reaver. like as tall as a Reaver. Pretty cool. And of course, it looks just like Ron Perlman, as it should, which is amazing.
Yeah, we had a good
They had,
discussion about that.
They also had like Abe Sapien, and they had like a T-Rex head.
Oh, that T-Rex head.
Yeah, that's the T-Rex head.
Yeah.
But that was fun. There's a lot of cool vendors. San Diego is really weird because it's like you're like, oh, it's a Comic-Con. It's going to be all comics. And like the front hall, I would say halls basically A, B, C, and D are basically all comic book stores and like memorabilia and like, graded comics and companies buying and selling comics. And then you get lots of like indie comic stuff. And then like the whole middle section is kind of a mishmash of everything.
Yeah.
And then I think this is like hall. This is probably like hall. I don't know what
F, maybe? I would say F.
Yeah, it's like this is like E or F.
E or F. Yep.
You have a lot of like more like pop culture movie sort of like prop stuff. So like these guys are there. That's where like the LucasArts booth is, the Paramount booth, the Columbia booth. So they had like the light up scale models that they use in Star Trek, like the actual like screen quality model kits that are all like lit from within with LEDs and stuff. And you can see those, they're phenomenal. They also had stuff like the Gundam booth is there, and they had like, yeah, there's the two Gundams. The one on the left is a I forget what that is. It's from the Principality of Xeon. It's either a goof or it's a I forget the other term, but this is from the new one. So these are technically different. Like their Requiem for Vengeance is like a not post-apocalyptic, but it's like a lot more war-torn, and everything has like field repairs. So like the mech on the left, obviously it's the right side of the picture. Its left arm has been like cannibalized off of another mech, and it has like chains like stretched over its chest plate for like more armor. And then the Gundam on the right behind me, it's like there's like a bunch of like hot welds on it, so it looks like it's been like hastily kind of field repaired kind of thing. But it's neat. There was a booth that you and I saw. Was it not Image? It's like Icon or something. They had all the Dune stuff you liked. You wanted that giant Dune poster.
There's an enormous Dune bas relief of the worm.
Yeah, the one in the movie is like a huge.
Yeah,
I mean that thing's gotta be 30 feet long and like 6 or 7 feet high. And they had a mini one that was like a foot and a half long, and it's like 4 inches high. It was Insight Editions,
right? So
they had like a bunch of licensed stuff from like Dune, and they had like some Star Wars stuff. Who are the guys? Oh, Weta Workshop was there. They had the huge. They had done the new Abaddon.
Yeah.
So there's like he's got to be like 2.5, 3 feet tall. There's a lot of cool stuff. Hasbro Pulse was there, so they had like the new Transformers Prime that's coming out. Like there's a lot of like fun stuff kind of in the middle, and then Hall H is like, it's Halls F. The back half of F and G is all like Artist Alley, so it's all like all the named comic artists and stuff you'd know. So yeah, it was neat.
Just quickly, Jonathan Palomo said, I always hear about only about comic and movie stuff at SDCC. So a big miniature market there for you to tap into. And Steve followed up with, alas, not really anymore. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, it had deeper gaming roots. There are a bunch of folks at SDCC who are basically working hard to bring gaming and miniature stuff back. So hopefully over the next few years, we'll see that grow. Particularly as once the Warhammer Amazon stuff hits, there'll be the ability to sort of bring more stuff into the panels, into the classes, into a variety of things.
I mean, this is only the second Comic-Con I've done, and last year was interesting because it was during the writer's strike, so there was nothing. I mean, they put stuff in Hall H, but all the normal Hall H stuff didn't happen, so there was no like Columbia Paramount wasn't there talking about Star Trek. You had no Lucas stuff. There was nobody from Marvel Pictures or Disney or anybody. Like they didn't do any of that. They like the photo on the left. Yep. That's what's her name's costume from the Acolyte. So they had that stuff. They had like stuff from the universes, but nobody was there to talk about it. Nobody did panels. Nobody did guest appearances
Yeah.
because of the strike, which was cool because it almost pushed it back to like being just a comic and pop culture con. Like it was just people. So the hall was a lot busier.
Yeah.
But Dave came with me this time. Our buddy Ross, who works for Atomic Mass, they make this Star Wars game and the Marvel Champions game. He hosts like a game industry sort of meeting, like party. And this year it was 3 times the size it was last year. And it's because every year, like we're bringing more and more gaming back into it. So like next year, we've already talked about doing a bunch of panels and stuff like David said. So,
yeah. So loads of fun stuff there. And of course, so now we're going to be using that Castle Grayskull photo for our, what do you call it?
That'll be our homepage, but we're gonna put our logo right over where it says Mattel Creations. Dave, I'll be right back. I hate to do this to you. My wife is calling for me. I will return.
Okay, no worries. See you in a second. There we go. Let's keep going. So this was a shot that I took on the Saturday night, hanging out back. So this was hanging out the back of the convention center. Just a sort of squadrons of scissor lifts there, getting ready to help people take down their banners and all sorts of other big stuff that was hanging from the ceilings inside the vendor hall. Awesome. So it just made me chuckle. I'm glad that they had so many of them, 20 or so. Excellent. Next up. So of course we were there. We also hung out with Kat Jackson from the Army Painter, and just off to the right, that elbow that's in shot is Caleb Wissenbach. So they had a 10x10 booth there. We're selling the Fanatic Starter paint set and the Speed Paints paint set. But Caleb spent a lot of time just talking to people, going really in depth on some painting ideas and painting techniques and painting approaches, which was super cool. This is also the point of the show where I'm going to let you know the Army Painter are back for another season. They are our season sponsor this season, season 5. So we are happy to have them sticking with us. But super cool to spend some time with Kat and Caleb. I was lucky enough to go to dinner with them twice. I think Jake did as well. He probably did. I think, what did I do? I did Wednesday and Saturday, and he did Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, very cool. Excellent. During our painting sessions, we had one painting class that was faces and eyes. So these are some of the specific war paints that we used for those that session or that class. We used the Marvel United models from Simon from their the board game Marvel United, which was super cool. They've got some really nice big faces. A little bit easier to paint if you haven't done any face painting. So it was nice to use those. This is what we pulled out for the metallics class that we did. We mainly used the rough iron, the true copper, and the mithril in the middle there. But again, it was good to be able to tap into those. Yeah, and as Steve says in the chat, that was the one that he helped teach on Friday, was the faces and eyes class. Moving on, this is our painting area. So this room was up on the mezzanine level, 17B. On the left of the room, you can see a whole bunch of tables. There are 4 tables there. That's where all the paint and take happened. And Jerry from Off the Shelf, or the owner of Off the Shelf Games, it's a local store in San Diego. He had a crew, and they ran the paint and take. They had, I think, capacity for 56 people per session. They did hour-long sessions, and so what did they work out at? They did 8 sessions a day, so roughly 450 people a day going through the paint and take. And so over the weekend, 1,800 people going through paint and take, which was awesome. This long table on the right-hand side there was our classroom sort of table. Jake and I got to walk up and down that row quite a bit during the day. I'd say we probably we both put in about 1.5 miles each behind that table each day, which was pretty crazy. But we ended up with 21 or 22 seats there for each of our classes, which was a lot of fun. Definitely cool. This is one of the first classes in action there. On the end closest to us, we've got somebody in a Wonder Woman cosplay, which is super cool. At some point through there, you might see the Bakers, the Baker family. I'm not exactly sure where they might be. But one of the coolest things that we had during the weekend was probably 5 or 6 families, like 3 or 4 people from the family who came and spent a bunch of time with us. They really enjoyed miniature painting and hadn't done it before. So it's exciting to see them potentially get ready to start a new hobby as a family sort of group thing, which was super cool. But yeah, everybody was definitely having a lot of fun as we were painting. Again, another shot there. Jake getting everything set up for a new class. We had mini wet palettes.
Of note in this photo.
Oh,
so
yep.
The gentleman in the red shirt.
Yep.
On the right side, that's Channing Tatum.
Yep.
And to the left of Channing, I believe that is his daughter. I think it's his daughter or his niece.
Yeah.
So I was kind of resetting this whole thing, and I hear him. They were painting. I don't know what they were painting. That's the paint and take.
Yep.
And
yeah. Whenever that. Yep.
Okay. So I was kind of like working my way down the line towards us, and I hear somebody at the table say, "How do you make the metal look like that?" And I think the guy with the sunglasses on his head, who actually took a lesson with us, was like, "Oh, well, so normally use a thing called wash, but what I've done is I've thinned down some black. So I happen to have strong tone in my hand, and I just squirted some on his plate. And I didn't realize who it was. I just squirted on his plate. And I was like, he's like, what do I do with this? I was like, just paint it on all the metal, and it'll, like for most painters, like it'll sink in all the details and stuff, and it'll really make it pop. I was like, we call it skill sauce. So I walk away, and I literally get like halfway back to where you see me in this photo. And like I said, the girl, like the daughter or whatever, is like, I didn't get any. And he was like, he's like, hey man, can I get some more? So I went back over and put some on her plate. And now I see who it is. So I was like, yeah, I'm like, just, paint it all or be pretty liberal with it. I was like, if you guys need anything, like, let me know. So he's like, oh, thanks, man. So we walk back over, and again, I'm not going to bug him. He's clearly there with his family. Like, I know it's fine. So we do the show. And then later on when he was leaving, he was like, hey man, thanks so much. I was like, yeah, no problem. And then his costume was, as you can see, he's wearing a red shirt.
Jake, don't give it away. Give it away just in case he uses it another time.
How would you know?
It's true. That's fair. It's fair. But he had a costume put on to be able to wander the hall in anonymity. I
mean, I'm assuming that you'll see a million of these because of how popular it is. He had a Deadpool mask.
Right. Yeah.
So it was pretty neat.
It was good. So yeah, got to see Channing Tatum. And the other famous person we got to see was Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah, he was in our hotel.
He was in our hotel lobby as we were heading out on the Saturday morning, I think. Saturday or the Sunday morning. But yeah, that was our painting class there. Yes. Steve says, according to Kat, they were painting Steamforged. I think the paint and take was primarily Zombicide.
They had a little bit of everything. They had some Zombicide. They had some models from, I think, Kraken Studios again. They had some models from Mercs. They had some other models from, what were the little ones in the boxes?
Oh, I have no idea.
We had that one suit that had to open up, and it was like a clear plastic. I don't remember what that was, but yeah, they were painting a bunch, and then we had stuff from Steamforged, basically put forward all. Yeah, and then we got some Marvel United, which was left over from last year. They didn't have a lot. They had enough that they gave to us, and we used all of them for our faces and eyes class, which was great.
Yeah.
They are super fun to paint. They're an absolute blast. There's a ton of detail on them.
Yeah. Absolutely awesome. Awesome stuff. Oh, there we go. So this is Stephen here. Steve is in the chat as Tabletop Super Show. So, Yep, he came along, helped us out on the Friday. We saw him again on the Sunday. But yeah, it was great. Thanks very much for your help there, Stephen. One of the cool things as well is that Stephen and I paint some different things quite differently. So it was awesome to be able to describe to people. I would say, well, here's how I do it, and then Stephen would come along and say, well, here's how I do it, and they go, oh, which one's better? And it's like which one everyone works for you. So it was nice to have that sort of additional information there for everybody, which is super cool.
I think part of that is because Dave and I both basically learned how to paint models professionally at Games Workshop. We paint similarly, like we paint differently, but I think we have a similar mindset when it comes to most painting. So it's always weird, like because that's our default setting. It's always weird doing a class with someone who, or not weird is the wrong word, but like it's always interesting doing a class with someone who paints in a completely different way because you're always like, I didn't even think about that. Like it was all my thought process. So
yeah, definitely good. Here's some of the some of the Marvel United photo sort of models that were painted.
Yes. So on the left,
I think these ones might have been painted for we did one of the fundamentals classes we did with Marvel United.
So on the left, I think that's what's her name? She's I think she's one of the X-Men. I can't think of who it is. I can't think of who it is. Yeah, I can't think of who that is. And then in the middle, that's Ant-Man, I believe. That's the current Ant-Man. And then on the right, that's the Red Skull.
Yep.
One of the things that blew my mind was as we were doing this, I handed all these superheroes, and we had so many people who were like, I don't know who that is. And we had a ton of people who were like, I'm not a big comic fan. And I kind of wanted to be like, what are you doing here? Like, it was really cool, but I was like, really? Like,
well, I think it's absolutely fine. I wasn't a comic fan.
Well, right, but you're a gaming fan and you're a miniatures painter. Like it was just weird. We had a lot of people who were like, oh, I've never painted minis before. Also, I'm not a comic book fan. And it was like how did you get here? Like, did you lose a bet? Like what's going on?
Scott says the middle one is Ultron.
Oh, it is? Okay. He's painted a lot differently. Ultron's usually just silver. So
yeah. But no, in particular, that's the Red Skull there, painted with that sort of Caucasian flesh. Just looks really, really well done. Awesome sunken cheeks.
That's pretty cool.
Great detail on the furrowed brow. But yeah, it's beautiful work there.
You can really see the Hugo weaving.
Yeah, definitely.
They're so fun. Yeah, these guys did a great job. They painted up. So the green thing is a big like undead snake. There's like ribs and stuff showing. And then the red guy is this big like Wanty snake man who has a Makahedal in his hand. And then the two little guys in the front are snake cultists.
I've got a close-up photo later in the show.
Oh, nice.
Minis. Yeah, this was the Lau family. So this was their first time painting minis, and they had a fantastic time. So
they did a great job.
My favorite part was chatting with the dad on the left. He's an engineer, so for him, everything is very much sort of black and white. Everything needs to meet precisely. So then when I started talking about, well, you could put it here or you could put it there, it doesn't really matter too much. That was kind of breaking his mind.
Engineers don't like that. That can go anywhere. That's not an answer. That's not how. That's not how math works.
But after he spent like in this session, I think it was, so this was a morning session, so it was an hour and a half long. By the end of it, he was like, okay, yeah, I'm starting to understand it. I'm starting to get it. Ways that he can use his get that sort of engineering bent, but put some of the different ideas in.
When I showed them, you can see right in front of them the red cap. That's the strong tone. When I showed them how to use the tone, it like blew their minds.
Yep. It was awesome. So this is Katara, who was helping out from Off the Shelf Games, and this was a mini that she was just sort of painting in spare time. Wanted to get a photo of that, and you can see that awesome detail on the face there. I think we worked out this mini was from
it's from the new Massive Darkness Heaven and Hell
expansion. But yeah, was doing a fantastic job. So,
It's super cool. It's essentially Athena.
yeah. But beautiful work there.
Yeah,
It was
she did a
excellent.
great job.
But yeah, so Kitara was helping out with the paint and take area.
And Jerry and his whole family and his whole team, they were so great. They helped Dave and I out a ton. So having them there is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Snake cultist.
So yeah, it's an awesome cultist from the was it Chamber of the Serpent Folk?
I believe that's the one. Yeah, it's one of the Epic Encounters boxes from Steamforged. We will put links to that below at some point, or maybe we'll do it next week. But we have all of them in stock at my shop. Your local shop should have them. If they don't, you can ask. They are super cool. They make two types of boxes. They make one we call Gribblies. It's full of like minion dudes. So it's like snake people or kobolds or gnolls or goblins or humans. And then they usually have a couple of other like medium-sized bosses in that box. So it's either like a golem or an ogre type of stuff. And then they have a boss monster box that has like one big mini. So it's like a dragon or like a frost giant or like a giant spider or something. They're super fun, but it's for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and you can run it at low, medium, or high levels. It has everything you need to run out of the box. It has like this cool fold-out battle map that's like gridded. It's double-sided. It's actually made of like, it's not paper. It's like a waxy, like thicker. It's basically just a little more durable.
It's paper with a coating.
Okay, yeah. But it's definitely like heavy gauge paper. It's not like a piece of paper type of thing. But they're great. The price point on them is awesome. If you just want cool minis to paint, like they paint up really nice. I think Dave took home like one of the pieces. Didn't you get like one of the riders or something?
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
I thought we stuck one in your bag.
You put one in my bag. Yeah.
I think you've got either the flail snail or like one of the saber-tooth cat riders or something.
Right.
But they're really fun. And the guys at Steamforged, like Matt Hart and Toby and Fizz and Joe and all them, like they hooked us up with these, which was great. It was really nice of them to do that. So yeah, they were a ton of fun. We'll probably have more of them. I know Kat's gonna use some of them at the booth at Gen Con. Right. And then if we have anything left, like we might try to do something at Nova too. But
yeah, excellent. In the chat, Patrick Milan has joined us. Says, evening all. Nice to see the band back together after a bit. Tuesday evenings have been super boring.
Yeah, sorry, man. We're glad to be back. We missed you guys. So
yep, definitely cool. So looking on. Next
these guys are great.
Yep, these are a couple more.
The serpent folk dudes are rad. The big guy. You could use them if you play D&D. You could use them as 1T, which they're like serpent people. But they're super fun models to paint. There's a ton of detail in them too.
Yeah, this was a couple, and they had a lot of fun. These were their first minis. I think you showed the guy who was painting the one on the left how to paint gems.
Yeah, I showed him, and there's a one of the I think it's one of I believe it's one of Michael Baker's kids.
Okay.
His daughter. I think I showed her how to paint them as well. But like again, we did 3 classes. We did fundamentals, which was pretty basic stuff, and then we did like faces and eyes, teaching like skin tones and how to highlight the T-zone of a face, and worrying about lighting and stuff. And then we did metallics, because a lot of people those are the questions we kind of get the most. It's usually like, how do you paint? Other than like, how do you paint white? It's usually like, how do you paint skin tones? How do you paint metallics? And then like we had a couple people ask about OSL, and I was like, we can't teach you OSL in 2 hours. Like that's not a thing. But yeah, but these minis are great. Like we had a varying degree of I would say experience and ability at all the lessons, which is really fun. So yeah, some people wanted to like really challenge themselves and like, how do I do this? And so I was Dave and I were both giving advice or whatever. And then Dave also went in and busted out some paints out of the Most Wanted set. So he was giving people the dry blood so they could put it on stuff, and we used like some of the skin tones and stuff.
Yeah, people definitely enjoyed the dry blood and the disgusting slime, and
there's such cool effects.
Yep. And this was me heading out into the bright sunshine where you can't see my eyes because almost closed.
It is bright and sunny in San Diego.
Yep, it is indeed.
Yeah, and you can see behind Dave that weird like bump out where the TIE fighter glass window is, or the Millennium Falcon cockpit glass is right there.
Yep.
You can see to his to Dave's left on the right side of the photo, it says exhibit hall B1 and B2. So that's B1 and B2, and then that weird like glass gazebo thing kind of divides that. All they've done with this is they've just added new halls. Like
right.
When it first started, apparently it was just hall A.
Right.
And then they added B1 and then B2, and then they added C and D. But yeah, it's bonkers to see like how big this show is.
Jonathan asks, "Hey Dave, how hot was it in San Diego? Was it Australia hot?" It was different. It was probably, I think on the Sunday, it's probably about 85 degrees, which is what, maybe 30, 32 degrees Celsius, and it was 90% humidity.
Yeah, the humidity was odd for this year. San Diego normally has pretty mild weather. Their weather is usually between like 85, 86, and it usually never gets over 90. And then they usually have great breezes, because again, on the other side of this building is like it's the Pacific Ocean, so they usually get the Gulf Coast, or not the Gulf Coast breeze. They get the I forget what it's called, but they basically get like a breeze that comes up like off the, like it kind of curls up the coast. So San Diego always has really mild weather. Like the joke is the dream job for everybody is San Diego weatherman, because you just have to say it's going to be in the mid to high 80s with a 5% chance of rain. Like that's every day. So this year, apparently, like they haven't had a lot of breeze, and it's just been really humid. So it like all week it was like 89. It was all like 89, 91, 92 with like 85% or higher humidity. Yeah. Until the last 2 days, it cooled off. Sunday it was not as humid out because we were like walking around. And then Monday, of course, when I went outside to catch a cab, it was nice and dry.
Right.
So like it definitely cooled off. But yeah, normally there's a nice breeze that kind of keeps things from getting too swampy.
Yeah. But yeah, there isn't a swampy smell, which is nice.
No, yeah, it just feels like somebody it feels like somebody whacked you with a wet sponge as soon as you go outside.
Yeah. Yeah. So excellent. Is that that's the last one there. So that was our adventure.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. We had a lot of fun. We've already started making plans for next year, the stuff we're going to change, and allow Dave and I to kind of process more people through and do more lessons, and we'll probably add a couple of new things. And we also like kind of know what to look out for. I think that was one of the biggest things, was because I had been there before, I kind of knew what to expect. Yep. It was hard to explain to Dave like what we would need to do. And then but now that we've both been there, we can kind of give a much more detailed list of what we want and like what we need to kind of make this work the best. And I will say working with Kat and Caleb was great. Having the Army Painter team, the events team was fantastic. Caleb is so good. He just worked at the booth, like showing off speed paints, and Kat hung out at the booth, which is awesome. Kat, they're the best. They're super great people, and working with them is awesome. If anybody's not familiar, they used to their CK Studios is kind of where they kind of came from. They've both done events for other people, but they're awesome.
Yeah. Jonathan Blower says, I would love to be at the paint and take room and just hear about all the news about Marvel stuff trickle in. To see people say, "Did you hear this? Did you hear that?"
Again, it was pretty cool because most of our people there were not big comic fans.
It was funny. I got to catch up with my buddy Jeff Jenkins, Rogue Shader on Instagram. He goes every year with his wife. They do all sorts of fantastic stuff. So he knows all about the offsite programming and everything that happens sort of around.
Who was it that gave us the minis?
Oh, that was Chris Kohler. Chris Kohler from Slow Death Games. So Steve does some painting for them. And actually later this year, they're running. He's running the 5th year of Slow Death Games Fest. They're hoping to have about like 85, 100 people just in a local hall in San Diego.
Yeah, but, he was super nice because we saw he was also at Ross's game industry thing that was really fun. So
yeah, it was definitely good. So it was great to be able to hook him up with connecting with Kat and Caleb and talk to some other folks. But yeah, the reason I mentioned Jeff is that there was one point where we were chatting after it was after the announcement that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing Doctor Doom, and he was like, "But he was just Iron Man," and I was like, "Well, before Chris Evans was Captain America, he was the Human Torch." So
that's true. Well, and also like I can't remember his name, but who's the? Oh, I can't remember his name. He's on like, I think he's on Crazy Rich Asians. He was in Scarlet Witch. He's like a FBI agent and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I can't think of his name. Is it
his name? But
I really like him. I think he's super funny, and he's had 2 different roles in the Marvel universe already.
Right.
And then someone said John Krasinski has had 2 different Marvel roles as well. So it's not like they've never done it before.
No.
It is weird to take like one of the big names who's been in multiple franchises and movies and then move him into another like role.
Yeah.
But,
Scott just pointed out, Michael B. Jordan was Killmonger, and he also played the Human Torch.
Yep.
So absolutely crazy. But yes, Steve says anyone who wants to go to Slow Death Game Kings of War Fest in September, hit me up on the group page and I'll give you all the details. So yeah, just jump into the Build Paint Play community page and ask about it. Steve will give you information on how to get to San Diego. But yeah, oh there we go. Josh says Marvel contracts number of movies, not roles.
That's true, but Robert Downey Jr. already fulfilled his contract. This is a new contract.
Yeah. If Marvel only had one universe, I would say that yes, it is a bit like Mark Hamill playing the Emperor, but because they have the multiverse,
that's true.
They can play fast and loose with it.
Again. And Robert Downey Jr. is a fantastic actor. Like I'm not really worried about it. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's just he's going to be playing another guy in armor again. Like he just doesn't need to take his. And the good news is if they do him the right way, he doesn't take his mask off.
Right. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, obviously because we were away for 2 months, well, we had the bonus episode in the middle there with Phil, the Glacial Geek, but we have a lot of stuff to go through here. So let's jump in. We'll run through. I didn't grab all of the photos. There are a few that came in yesterday afternoon and this morning that I haven't had a chance to grab. So hopefully, and also
we can do more. We can do more next week. Anything we didn't get to this week, we'll throw in next week. So
we'll fill them in for sure. But,
dude, Adam, you're killing it, man. We used a lot of your stuff to show people off at San Diego. Like I always tell people, if people are working on stuff, they can post stuff in our community page and ask for help. And we have such a great, positive community. I was like, somebody will answer your question if Dave and I don't get to it. But yeah, I showed off a bunch of Adam stuff.
Yeah. The one thing that I need to do is I need to send a message to Adam and say, hey, Adam, when you post this in post things in multiple groups, try not to do more than like 3 groups at a time because Facebook is flagging it as spam.
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
And I didn't know that. I noticed that we had like notifications saying, hey, there are like 15 posts that are spam. And so I went and looked at them all. And I was like, oh, these are Adam's posts. Post. So there's been a flood over that last day and a half of Adam's posts coming through.
I love that vampire. All 4 of the vampires that come in that set are gorgeous.
Yeah, he did a beautiful job on the set. So that's from the Warhammer Underworlds set.
Fat Bastard is pretty great too.
Yeah, that's from Guild Ball. The guys from Guild Ball, from the Brewers Guild.
Nice.
But yeah, beautiful work. Lovely little sort of diorama setting as well.
Nicely done on the tartan as well. That's a subtle flex.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely well done. But yeah, beautiful work, Adam, and great work on all of the other pieces as well that we've had come through over the last 2 months. Nice work. Next up. So Amos painted up this Kassakan squad. And I think his inspiration was the... well, these don't exactly match, but I think they're definitely inspired by the 2003 City Fight book.
Yeah. It's the same like urban camo that they do with the red shoulder plate and the cool like blue, black, white camo.
Yeah, yeah. But
They look awesome. That's a great looking squad.
The squad do look fantastic. So you've got them sort of geared up for kill team, but you can also be using those for 40k. Oh,
I still think that's one of the best power. I still think that's one of the best power swords out there.
it does look great.
That single cutting edge, and it's a nice like flat fat blade.
Yeah. Dave Hummel says I'm building those next at work. He's got 2 squads. But yeah, they look very cool. Awesome work, Amos. Next up, Bing's been painting some more stuff for Malifaux.
Nice.
So the guy on the left there is Leech Lord, and obviously a couple of leeches that he's commanding. But
a couple baby sandworms.
What's that?
A couple baby sandworms.
Sandworms, yeah, definitely got that. That look. They look fantastic. I love the sort of that dark iron mask that the Leech Lord is wearing there. It's got a bit of a Nazgul vibe.
Yeah, I dig it.
And yeah, beautiful stuff. Thanks for sharing those, Bing. It's always great when we get to see some Malifaux models. Nope, no reaction from Jake.
So it's not just Scott.
So it's not just Scott posting them. Yep. Yes, they do indeed. Yes, these suck. Oh wait, the opposite. Yes. Nice work, Dave. Excellent. Cal posted up this guy.
That looks like an old Ralpartha Wraith.
I think it might be. But yeah, it's got that great sort of dusty vibe going on.
That is definitely, that looks like a metal model to me.
Yeah. Yeah. You feel the weight of it, can't you?
Yeah.
But no, I think Cal's done a nice job there. The battered armor looks really cool. And sort of having those robes.
It has a very like Legend or like Time Bandits vibe.
Yep. Steve's saying he doesn't think it's Ralpartha. Might be Otherworlds. I know that Cal paints a lot of Otherworlds. Okay. Oh, there we go. Cal just arrived. So you can let us know where it's from, Cal.
Cal, what is it?
Thanks, the model. But yeah, it looks really cool. I love the way that the sort of the coloration of the base and the sort of flows into the robes.
Yeah, you're right, Dave. Otherworld.
But yeah, nice one. Awesome. Next up is Carl.
Nice.
Carl has been doing a lot of work on his Sisters of Battle army. I know that he and Josh went up to the Tacoma version of the US Open a couple of weeks ago. I think it was the same weekend I was at Historicon. And he's been super excited to paint up his Sisters of Battle since that trip.
Carl, you did a great job. The transitions on her wing, yeah, Dave said the same thing. Like the transitions on her wings are awesome. Like that fade all the way out to the baby blue, and then the mile of short story you had to write on her on her like scrolls are fantastic. I like that you mixed in a couple of equatorial eyes and like some fleur-de-lis to like eat up some space so your hand wouldn't go to sleep. I dig it. It's super cool.
Yeah, it does look great. Josh said the Tacoma event was a great time. So yeah, very cool.
Those are awesome.
Awesome stuff, Carl. Thanks for sharing. Excellent. Next up, Chris Gorka painted. So this is Vulture, did you say?
Yeah, that's the Vulture.
So the Vulture from Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Super cool. His wings look great.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Josh and Dave talking about the number of times that Carl had to do the scrolls.
Oh God.
Yes. Twice.
Very nice.
But yeah, beautiful work there, Chris. I love the just the highlighting the overall color on those wings is great.
He's super cool. He's such a neat model too, and you have to kind of punch him out like this because otherwise he's kind of boring. Like he's basically just like it's a guy wearing a green bodysuit.
Yeah.
So
what color wings does he normally have? Like in the
depending on who's writing them, like normally his wings are white.
Okay.
Which seems weird because he's a vulture, and that's why he has like the first stole, and he's a bald guy. So again, like from the neck up, he's a vulture. But then why he's wearing green, I'll never know. That's how he is in the comics.
Yeah.
And he has usually like white-ish wings. But yeah, I think this looks so much cooler. I think the way that Chris punched them up, they just look awesome.
Yeah. Yep. No, it looks great. Very cool. Nice work, Chris. And Chris also shared.
That's the Sandman.
Man, yep. Looks awesome. I just love this concept, and I love the way it was sort of executed in the movie. Because that was the second Tobey Maguire movie, is that right?
Yeah, and then he's also in the newest one in Far From Home, where there's like all three Spider-Men are in it. Like he's back in it.
But who's it played by?
It's Thomas Hayden Church.
Thomas Hayden Church. Thank you. Yeah. But no, I think Chris has done an awesome job there.
Yeah, David's right too. He nailed the green that he wears in the comics. Like in the comics, he always has like that green striped shirt.
Right.
It's like, because supposedly he was wearing that when he was on the beach and got irradiated on, and that's why he's like made out of sand. But he always has that shirt on.
Yeah.
I like that there's like bits of rebar mixed in, because the idea is that like nothing hits him.
Right. Yeah. I love the traffic lights there.
Yeah.
There we go, Scott. So it's the third Tobey movie. There we go. With emo Spider-Man. And even worse Venom.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Excellent. There we go. Looking great, Chris. Nice one. Chris Kemmig. Chris Kemmig painted up this Jump Pack Praetor.
It's a big sword.
Yeah, it is. Yep. It looks fantastic. I wonder if he's going to sort of throw the scabbard away once he's got the sword out of it.
I would assume so.
Yeah. He'll come back and pick it up later.
Yeah, after the battle.
But
I do like that model. His eyes look really cool. He got a lot of depth in there. Yeah,
yep. For that bright pop of blue. It's nice.
His transfer work's really good too. Like you can't see any seams on that.
Yeah. Excellent work there, Chris. It's very cool. Sorry.
It's in tight.
Awesome. Next up, Clive Mills.
Oh God, this is it's Wizard from Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Or sorry, Magician.
Magician
from Dungeons and Dragons.
Right. He's got those little
Presto is the wizard.
Right. Presto's the name.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
He's like the worst. He's the worst wizard ever. Basically, he just pulls stuff out of his hat. That's basically what he does.
Oh, okay. Ready. So he is like a magician.
Yeah, exactly. Like in D&D, he's supposed to be a wizard, but he's really a magician. He has like a green pointed hat, but then it's like bent over, so it's not like a dunce cap. It's like a floppy green hat, and then he takes it off and he like, he's always like something, and like he'll throw like rabbits at people. Like he's the worst.
Right. Awesome. Totally useless stuff 90% of the times.
Every once in a while, I think the first time they really got into trouble, I think he like throws a dimension spell and it rips a hole in the wall, and Tiamat, who's like the queen of evil dragons, comes ripping through and gets into a fist fight with oh God, what's the bad guy's name? Venger. Venger's like this big like half demon that's always like trying to kill them.
Right.
But yeah, like he's 100% right. Like 90, it's probably more like 95% of the time he's effectively useless.
Yeah. Awesome. Excellent. But beautiful work there, Cliff. Sorry, Clive. My bad. Good work, Clive. Thanks for sharing. Next up. So here are some more models from the paint and take. Sorry, not painting, the painting class.
Yeah, these are great.
In the Fadner family.
So the guy on the left is actually Luke Cage, but they painted it as Drax, which is fine. Yep. The guy with the guy that looks like Slimer from the Ghostbusters is Dupe from X-Men, and he's like taking a photo. And then that's Shuri from Black Panther. And then the guy on the far right is Dormammu. Dormammu is like the demon that's always like that Doctor Strange always has to like fight and like get him to like leave Earth alone.
Yep. And I was gonna say I told them on the day that it looked a lot like a ringmaster, sort of that classic circus ringmaster look for the Dormammu painting.
Yeah. So normally how he's supposed to be is I think his outfit is like purples and golds and stuff.
Yeah.
And then his head is on fire.
Right. Yeah.
But they painted this more like he's like a lion man. He looks like a Klingon. He's like a lion man with like black hair.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like they even painted like the bits to look like his eyebrows. But the idea is he's supposed to be like his head's on fire.
Yep. Maybe it is. Maybe it's Black Flame.
Yeah. It's pretty good though.
But no, beautiful work for first run at minis.
The Shuri and Dupe here are my favorite.
Right. But yeah.
Oh, what did I say? Shuri, yeah, he's right. That's a Koye.
Koyo. There we go. But yeah, fantastic work, Fandom family. Thanks for joining us on the weekend. It's awesome.
Nice.
Yep. Greg's working on this Wicked mini. I don't know where this is from. Do you know where this one's from, Jake?
He posted it. I don't remember.
Yep.
It looks Rackham-y to me.
Yeah, I think certainly the what do you call it? The
scythe.
The scythe. Thank you. Yep. Has that feel. Sure. The head kind of looks like it could be a what do you call it?
Like the horned rat.
Yeah, the Vermin Lord. It's got a very, very Vermin Lord kind of look. But
it's a cool mini. I'm excited to see what Greg does with it. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. No, looking forward to seeing what you do, Greg. It's gonna be great. Greg Rothhauser.
This thing looks great. It's a simple, straightforward paint job until you really start looking at it, and then you're like, wow, there's a lot of like detail and nuance and volume in this. Which I think is why I like it so much, because it's like it's subtle. It's not like in your face.
Yeah. This is sort of slightly darker area on the lower panels here. More depth under here as well.
On the knee pads, like the knee pads are great.
There, look fantastic. But
even like he did really subtle lenses in the old school GW way, like the circle. Like if you look at the red one, and like that one's perfect. Like it's the dark circle, and then you glaze it, and then you basically paint like the gibbous moon, and then you paint like the half moon, and then you paint the crescent moon, and then you paint like the white dot. Like that's old school GW.
Yep.
The base is great too, which also helps.
Yeah, definitely. Looks fantastic. An excellent job there on that Ballistus Dreadnought.
Very nice.
Nice work. Sue Lynn's been painting up this Brad Pitt from Fury.
Yeah. Awesome work. Like the
on the face there.
The amount of volume he got on like the collar and like the clothing, like it looks like cloth. And that second armored division triangle patch is spectacular.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's amazing. Rolling onto that the texture of the that jacket.
Yeah.
Great. And that the leather strap around his shoulder there.
Yeah.
That's like great leather straps that I've that have been attached to pieces of equipment that my dad had.
Yeah. Awesome. Sulin has done a spectacular job with this. So
yeah. But Chris Gorka's joined us. Hi, Chris.
What's up, Chris?
We're checking out your Sandman and the Vulture, but yeah, beautiful work here, Sulin. Awesome. Next up, Jeff Smith.
Oof.
I think when we left last season, Jeff was just started the conversion work on his basically what was going to be his Beyond the Fell-Handed proxy. So this is Fenrir the Merciless.
So my favorite thing about this is all the subtle like there's a lot of in-your-face conversion work.
Yep.
But my favorite subtle conversion piece is the arc lightning he has on the claw.
Right. Yep.
So that's just blobs of like, I think he said it's just blobs of glue, and then he has little pieces of wire that he like bent and put on there. That's awesome.
Yeah, it does look fantastic. I like that his frost cannon as well, like Hellfrost cannon.
Yeah, that's because that's off the gunship thing.
Yeah, it has some what do you call it? Yeah. Icicles dripping down from it.
It's really cool.
But yeah, beautiful work there, Jeff, and congrats on your second place in the Sci-Fi Unit War Machine category.
It's pretty dope.
Awesome. Next up, Jeff Wilhelm.
This
is working on a piece for Golden Demon next year at Adepticon. And yeah, he's having fun messing with a lot of sort of classic armor modeling techniques. He's taken that Land Raider and spun it around, popped the Rogel Dawn turret on top.
It's so funny. After seeing this, I was like, it's basically a Rogel Dawn, but I think he said he started building it before the Rogel Dawn came out. So
right, yeah, it's taller than the Rogel Dawn, I think, maybe a little bit longer, but it harkens back to a piece that Jeff sort of entered a bunch of years ago. I can't remember exactly when, but he's got a picture of it in the post in the Facebook group, so you might go and check that out. But
this thing is great. Like, I love that he has and it's armed to the teeth, so it is a double heavy bolter on this side, double heavy bolter on the front, double heavy bolter on the other sponson, and then it has the main battle cannon, which is the cannon off the Dorn, and then it has an inline flamer on the other side. You can just see it sticking up over the top.
Yeah. So
it's an inline cannon mount.
Yep.
And then it has the heavy stubber on the pintle up in the cab. Like, this thing's great.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Excellent work so far, Jeff. We're looking forward to seeing you get some paint onto it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Next up, John Steining has been painting up. These are in Numidians, I think, for his Ancients. He's getting done. But they look fantastic. Those sort of brass helmets look awesome. Nice and shiny.
Awesome.
And I think the shields might be Little Big Man Studios with a dry rub transfer. But looking good there, John. And also John has painted these Celtic cavalry. And again, yeah, those are definitely Little Big Man Studio dry rub transfers on the oh, there we go. On the shields. But yeah, excellent work on those horses. I love the sort of that blend from the black into the brown on their muzzles. And the white blazers.
The shields look great. Like, those shields look like they're wood. They look like they're wood and they're worn.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely super solid. But looking great. Are you bringing those to Nova, John? Let us know. John is in the chat there.
Dude, these are great.
Yeah, awesome work. Look forward to seeing some more. Josh Potter. I don't think Josh is in the chat with us anymore, but there's a wonderful Eton he's been working on.
Yeah, the one end wants to drink the cask of mead, the other end wants to throw the cask of mead.
Yep. Which one do you think will get its way?
I mean,
is it going to be like one will throw it and the other one
just doesn't let go? That's what I would do.
Doesn't let go, so it neither of them get what they want. I think it.
Great work on the skin tones on this.
Yeah, it's beautiful work there. No, excellent stuff, Josh. Looks great. Nice.
Dupe.
Yep. Kate Fournier painted up another dupe at San Diego Comic-Con.
She made this one gory too. He has like blood all over him.
Right.
I think she gave him a little bum too. She painted like a little bum on him.
Oh, okay. Nice. I didn't grab the shot from behind. But yeah. Excellent work. And a little bit of an ET finger.
Yeah.
There as well. So she just had a lot. But awesome. More wonderful stuff from San Diego Comic-Con. We've got Kelly Rowe.
That's Bishop.
Bishop. Excellent. Is he standing on a sentinel?
Yeah, it looks like an arm, sentinel arm.
Right. But no, that looks great. That sort of magenta pink for the for that magic. Is that magic? What's he doing?
So Bishop's power is he absorbs like energy.
Okay.
And then he can like kind of deal it back.
Yeah.
So I think that's him. Like, I'm assuming stuff is maybe shooting at him, and he's like absorbing all of the energy of stuff hitting him.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. But looking great. Awesome work there, Kelly. Very nice. Ken Hutzel has been working on some terrain.
Nice. He'll be able to get a whole game in his backyard. That's great.
Yep. Prepping for some 40K, I think, or some kill team, I think you were saying.
I like the whole chain link park over in the corner. That's cool.
Yeah. Yep. I bet you could put some shipping containers, some pallets of stuff there. Have a couple of guys.
We have the new. What did we just get in that looks super cool? We got in the ones from Battlefront, Gale Force 9.
Okay.
They make like short containers and long containers, and then they make destroyed or damaged ones of both.
Right.
They look really neat.
Nice. Yeah, I think this would be a lot of fun to play on. Ken's also been working on some scouts.
Nice.
I think he's painting these up for kill team, some kill team action. But yeah, is he going for Blood Angels? Do you know, Jake?
Yeah.
Yep.
They look good. I like how we took a page out of Christian's book and put like a backdrop.
Right. Yep. Not sure where that picture's from.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably a poster from somewhere.
They look cool though.
Yep. Nice work, Ken. Excellent.
You dig those.
Speaking of Christian.
Speaking of the devil, there he is.
Yep. So we've got. Did we show this last time? I couldn't remember.
I think we showed the squad, not the champion.
Okay, radio. But again, beautiful work.
Yeah, like the very subtle OSL off the plasma gun, and then like all of the slime and gore and like just nastiness of a Nurgle. And I like that it's like top to bottom. It's like everything's just rinsing down.
Yeah. Yep. We've got the all of this stuff here is just oozing all of this decay down there.
But it's like from the waist up, he's still wearing Death Guard colors.
Yeah. Yep. Or even from the knees up.
Yeah, and then he's like turning into like a true Plague Marine.
Yeah. He looks awesome. Good for it, Christian. A couple other fun models that Christian's had or been working on. So I think
some weird cultist dudes.
Yeah. They might be representing like a dark commune.
Possibly. Oh yeah, maybe.
Or maybe cultists with icons. But there we go. Alan's suggesting you mean Monster Fight Club rather than Gale Force 9 for the containers.
Nope. There's Gale Force 9 ones as well. They're really cool. We put them on when they were like BattleTech stuff. Monster Fight Club also makes some, but the Gale Force 9 ones are pretty cool too. So
yeah. Excellent. Okay, and also here we go, a few other cultists. So
again, great subtle OSL.
Yeah. But,
I like the guy to the left with his crazy helmet. It has one big eye and then like three little bug eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. You always got to wonder how they see out of those things. Yeah.
His terrain's great too. Like there's so much great wear on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful work, Christian. Thanks very much. There we go, the Lau family.
Yeah.
Nice. Close up to what we were talking before. Yeah, that the awesome big snake.
Yeah, after this I showed them how to use the wash. So the dad painted the base gray on the big green snake, and then they hit all the models of the wash, and they look amazing. It's like light years difference. But these were great as they were. Like for people who had never painted models before, it's nuts.
Yeah, they did an awesome job. Super cool. And Luis is
killing it with his Raptors.
Yeah, working on a Raptor diorama. So I think when we finished up last season, he just painted an Eliminator with a camo cloak, and now he's working on a squad of 5, I think.
Yep.
Like a little kill team group. But these are all for a little diorama display piece. But yeah,
So the guy on the left is in a cursor, and then he's building an eliminator as well.
Yeah, he's done. He's got the eliminator finished there, but now he's working on that crazy shoulder pad. Where's that shoulder pad from?
So he's currently working on Dominion Zephyr, who is my favorite character. I can't wait to see it when it's done.
So he's from the Horus Heresy, right?
Yeah, he's the Horus Heresy Blood Angels. He's the bringer of sorrow. He used to lead the Nephilim, I think. They're like one of the big angelic hosts. Like they basically show up and they're like, yeah, so everybody here has to die, and they just like darken the skies and they show up and they kind of ruin the day.
Right.
And then he gets his arms and one of his legs cut off by these like crazy weapon beasts that they fight on this one planet.
Okay.
And he's apparently he's one in a million Space Marines that like his genetics don't work with augmetics.
Oh, okay.
So he, being a Blood Angel, like, he can play the piano and he can paint, and he's an artist. And because he now has no more fine motor control, like his muscles, everything has a tremor because his nervous system doesn't work right with it. So he's like super depressed and he can't do anything, and he obviously can't lead anymore. So he basically like asks to be put in a frontline unit so he can just get killed. And Sanguinius is like, no, I need you to do something important. You're going to be our representative on Earth. And he sends him to Earth. But he knows it's basically exile. He doesn't want to do it. But then he meets Arkan Land, discoverer of the Land Raider and the Land Speeder. And Arkan Land meets him and is like, oh, you're the one in the million math problem that like doesn't work. And Arkan Land, of course, like fixes it. Like he just fixes his augmetics so that they work.
He maths his way out of it.
Yeah,
Sciences his way out of it.
He's like, I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this problem. And then in the books, like Zephyr becomes like an absolute monster. I think he's one of the few Blood Angel like leaders that like doesn't get killed in the Siege of Terra. Right. Him and Amit and a handful of others, but he later on becomes the chapter master of the Charnel Guard, who are part of when Gilliman decrees that they all have to be broken up, he becomes a chapter master. But he's awesome. His miniature is crazy.
Jonathan's asking what book's that from.
It's in the Siege of Terra books, and it's also in. Yeah, I think it's the Siege of Terra books. Okay. They talk about him in the Horus Heresy, like the rule book,
right?
But then a lot of the story stuff happens in the Siege of Terra series.
Cool. Anyway, excellent work there, Luis. Looking super cool.
That gold looks fantastic.
Yeah. Malev's been messing around with some new stuff. This is Combat Convicts.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just signing over here. Combat Convicts is a new game designed just using the contents of a single box of miniatures.
Yep, he's cool.
But again, super cool, fast paced, exciting sort of stuff. So I think he's going through the beta testing at the moment, and hopefully soon we'll be able to release that onto the world. But yeah, looking awesome.
Looks awesome. Jonathan, to answer your question, you can also, if you just Google him, I think he's in one of the Heresy books. He's in like one of the last ones. It's like the War in the Webway. It's the book that's all about like the custodes like fighting underneath the palace, trying to like hold the web gate that's there from all the forces of chaos that are pouring in. That's the first book that he shows up in, really, like, and he's injured, and that's where he meets Arkan Land, and then Arkan kind of works on him like off screen. So then when you see him in Siege of Terra, he's like back on top of his game. But I would definitely recommend reading the War in the Webway one. It's awesome. Like the stuff that he pulls off in that book is crazy.
Excellent. Thank you for filling for me.
Yeah, I got you.
Malev's been working on that. They look awesome, Malev. He's got a great video about it as well, so definitely check out Malev the Shinobi on YouTube.
Malev has some new music out as well, if you guys want to check it out.
Rest in peace, Dave. He died doing what he loved, stroking out while Jake goes on a Feed Lord deep dive.
That's what we do.
Awesome. Melissa Molina also joined us at San Diego Comic-Con. Melissa joined us for quite a few of the classes. I think the first model she painted, I think Melissa was there last year as well.
Yeah, so Melissa was there for last year. I think I ran 7 classes total.
Yep.
Melissa showed up to like one of them and then had such a great time that she came back to a different class the second day and then took 2 classes the third day. And then I don't think she was there the whole time, but they were the first miniatures she'd ever painted, and they are spectacular.
Yep.
And then she came back this year, and she kept like pushing herself to do more stuff. And she had a lot of fun painting these. But Melissa is a fantastically talented artist. And then this is like the 7th, 8th, and 9th miniatures that she's like ever painted.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely cool there. But the face and the eyes on the guy in the middle.
Yeah, she said they got a little banged up in transportation. The guy on the left is actually Captain Britain, and she painted him in like purples and lilacs and mauves and gave him the bright yellow gloves are great. But you can see that he got a little chipped up, like getting taken home.
But did an awesome job, Melissa.
Yeah, these are great.
It was great for me to meet you, and hopefully we'll see you there again next year. Maybe you can bring some of the models that you paint between the show, like this year and next year. That'd be awesome.
Or just post them in the BuildPaintPlay community. We'll show them off.
Oh yeah, obviously do that for sure. Excellent. Mike Hughes.
He did pretty good in the lesson. Like in the metallics, obviously he was paying attention. Fundamentals came out solid.
Yeah, Mike was not there, but it would have been cool if he was. But no, he's done an awesome job on this chosen model.
My favorite is the lighting that he has on the greaves, because they have those crazy angled greaves
on the van braces.
Oh yeah, van braces. Yeah, that and then the other one. Yeah, they look awesome.
They do. They look super cool. But yeah,
I love it.
Spectacular work there, Mike. Looking great. But yeah, all that's non-metallic metal, so we didn't teach that. He didn't learn it from us.
No.
Beautiful work, Mike. Patrick Keith. Patrick Keith has spent a bit of time over the last week or so working on this kind of variation on the Penitent engine.
Yeah, this is Lady Gaga's new stage show, I think.
It is. You are correct. Yeah, this was unveiled in Hall H.
Nice. Pretty great.
But so Patrick's been sort of doing some 3D sculpting and mashing together the ideas of the original Penitent, or the size and scale, I guess, of the original Penitent engine with the current pieces. And
I really like this model, and Patrick did a great job painting it. But from a mechanics standpoint, you're like, if you were fighting this, just shoot her. Like,
yeah. But her faith will protect her.
Sure.
The Emperor will protect.
Unless she gets hit with a rocket. Like,
yeah. But Jake, the Emperor protects. We all know that.
100%.
Patrick's also working on some more Sisters of Battle. It's the squad that he's got on the go.
Yeah, I love the sisters. They're such great models.
Yeah. Beautiful work there, Patrick. Pete Heston. We showed some of Pete's.
What are these? These aren't centaurs. These are
bull centaurs.
Bull centaurs. Okay.
Yeah. So this is command group for his bull centaur unit. I think Pete was saying that the entire army is digital sculpt, 3D printed stuff.
Nice.
Yes, or as Steve says, they're chorfs.
Nice.
Chorfs.
They're the big hat army.
Yeah. But looking great there, Pete. I particularly love the old school sort of red era billiard screen bases.
Yeah.
Nice stuff.
Some goblin green, and then some static grass on top. Or that's not static grass. That's
granulated flock.
Yeah, that's the granulated flock. I think that's super old school. What year is this? I love it.
Yeah. But Steve, I would yell it if I had the voice to do so, but I do not. So I must remain calm, regulated. But beautiful work, Pete. Awesome. Phil Hall, Phil Glacial Geek, was our guest in our bonus episode between seasons. If you haven't seen that, go back and check it out. Phil's an awesome guy. He's painted up these for a tournament a local tournament that he went to recently. And they look great.
Yeah, they look good.
And they look cool with the those like
the hooded heads.
Hooded heads. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, and the classic red casings on the weapons. But yeah.
And they have Jeff's favorite thing, which is they all have a tactical rock.
They do indeed. But no, awesome stuff, Phil. Thanks for sharing. Very cool. Scott's been working on this crazy guy.
He looks good. I like this guy.
Yeah, he is awesome. Is this a Malifaux piece, Jake?
I have no idea. It looks like he would fit into like the was it Flesh Eater Ghoulkin or whatever, or Flesh Eater
Quartz.
Yeah, Flesh Eater Quartz. Like he looks like he would fit in there. It's definitely not one, but it looks like it would fit in there.
Yeah. But no, Scott did a great job on this, and I really loved the like the super subtle sort of pinkish. There we go. Euripides trousers. Eumenides trousers. Yep, there we go, Malifaux. But yeah, I just love that super subtle little bit of warmth in the model, just on the knee there.
Yeah,
a little bit of purple in the shadow up here, but yeah, when we look at that model, there's a little bit around the face.
Yeah, the modeled skin tone helps out. There's a little bit like go up to where like his shoulder meets his deltoid, like this whole area here.
Wait, where's the deltoid?
Right. Well, that's it. But like if you go down like that. Go down right the seam that's by his ear. Yeah, like that seam
in here.
That whole area, that looks super cool.
Yeah. But no, beautiful work there, Scott.
Yeah, Scott, you did an awesome job. And for scale, you can see how big he is because of the rib cage hanging on his belt.
Oh wow. Yeah. Check that out. I hadn't noticed that. That's awesome. Yeah. Great stuff. Oh, sorry. There we go. Awesome, Scott. Beautiful work. Great textures as well.
It'd be weird if you just showed this. You're like, Scott painted a knee.
Yeah. Yep. But no, I'm in love with that knee. Very cool. Jeff Smith says, underestimate the power of the tactical rock at your own peril.
Dude, I'm just waiting for Jeff to run an army that's just tactical rocks. Like it's coming. It has to be coming. So
yeah. Excellent. And finally we have Steve. Steve been working on these crazy scaling guys for
these are
crud. Okay. But he's been working on his non-metallic metal for these, so you can see that the bell and the accoutrements and the bolter are
the old school Rogue Trader box bolter with the magazine at the front of the gun.
Yep. Well, they're all caseless rockets, so
yeah, I mean,
at least they were originally. But yeah, looks great. Oh, yeah, Steve said he painted this guy during SDCC, so
nice.
That was going on. But yeah, beautiful work there. Excellent. And yeah, as Stephen mentioned before, or as we mentioned, the Slow Death Gaming Fest or Game Fest is going to be going on in September, and he's been working on a bunch of stuff. I think we're showing some stuff over the last couple episodes for the Rogue Trader, 40k Rogue Trader episode, scenario that he's working on.
Nice.
And it's got the spiky death cactuses from the classic look from the 80s. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Steve, I'm looking forward to photos from the event.
Be careful with that terrain. That is a green styrofoam ball with some toothpicks in it. It is like designed to stab you.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, awesome stuff there, Steve. Very cool. Thanks very much for sharing that with us.
Dude, I love the old school Rogue Trader Guardsmen.
Yeah.
Their helmets are the best.
I'm in there. On the Facebook group, at some point, Steve has a photo of I think it might be this group here. There's like the relatively new Jacaro model.
Yeah.
That might still be 10, 14 years old. But this is a, I think it's very old.
That's the old Inquisitor Witch Hunter.
Yeah.
And then the newest model on that table is the guy with the Imperial Aquila. Yeah, that guy. That's the current. I think it's the primary. Or not, it's not the primary psyker. I think it's just the psyker from the guardsman. It's one of the boxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's plastic. Like that's one of the newest. That's the newest model on this table.
I don't think he's plastic. I think he might be metal or fine cast. But yeah. But no, it looked awesome. Excellent. Thank you very much. I think that is. Yep, that's it. That's it for the show. Next week, as we mentioned, Josh Potter, seen here in real life for the very first time on the show, is going to be joining us. Oh my goodness. There we go. Going to be joining us next week and giving us a rundown of Gen Con. So lots of great photos, some more great photos of cool things from our Build Paint Play community page. So we are excited for that.
Dave, great job at putting our logo behind us. That's awesome.
Yeah, just squeezing it in there. And then we're going to look at how we can put everybody, well, I guess sort of maybe instead of having like the Queen album cover, we'll just have people sort of spilling out the side here.
I like it.
So we're at room to feel like a whole bunch of people around here.
I dig it.
But yeah, awesome stuff. So let me hit stop sharing. It'll go back to us there. Woohoo!
It's all real. It's all happening.
Yep. So there we go. We are at our 2-hour mark.
We did it.
Nice and smoothly.
We did it. It's like riding a bike.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. It was nice to have a couple of weeks of downtime. I think we ended up being we had 3 weeks off, and then we did the bonus episode, and then we had 3 weeks. So, something like that.
4 weeks, I think.
Okay, but it was nice having some downtime. But yeah, it's cool to be back. I know we've got a really good lineup. Dave and I will be kind of eking it out as we go. We have a couple undecided slots. We might try to move some stuff around, but we have a couple people that we might try to squeeze in. But it should be cool. We have some really good guests again this year. So it should be fun.
We're going to be talking to some folks from the Nova Open. We're going to be talking to John Russell from Warlord around about the time that Bolt Action 3rd Edition releases, which will be great. We're going to be talking to Ash Barker as well as Turin Buckley about in 2 different episodes about Mordheim. Mordheim's 25th anniversary this year, and different ways that they've approached sort of celebrating that. We were talking with Charity Edwards, who's running all of the hobby fun stuff at Adepticon next year. And who else have I locked in? We've got Dan Osborne coming on the show again as well.
I don't think Dan's real.
Yeah, well, he's on September 10th. Are you available September 10th? You can meet him. No, you have to take that episode off.
Yeah, that's why he's on. He's covering for me.
It's true.
Supposedly.
Dan is just an AI, but he's our AI. We like him. But no, fantastic. Cool. I think we're ready and good to go.
All right. Well, again, thank you guys. Thank you everybody for joining us. It's great to be back. We will see you guys next week. Don't forget to post stuff. Make sure you guys comment, subscribe, all that good stuff that the young kids say. And we will see you soon. And as always, hang on, Dave's got something else.
Sorry, I know Michael Baker was watching the show. I saw that you popped in some pictures of your family's minis, Mike. We'll put those in next show. Sorry about that. I didn't quite have a chance. It was a busy day at work today, so I didn't have a chance to grab them.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll do more. We're gonna get many. There's so many that I know people are gonna send us. So we'll put them in over the next couple of weeks as we get them. And I know we've got a bunch of stuff that we didn't get to show this time from stuff that came in the last couple of days. So we'll go over some more next week. If there's and we'll put links below to some of the other stuff. A huge thank you to Steamforge for providing the miniatures for us for the show. A big thank you to Army Painter. We could not have done it without them. Like, it was great working with Caleb and Kat there. They're our season sponsor again, right over there underneath Dave's name there. We used that's what we used for their paint at the show, and everybody who used it, even like veteran painters who had painted before, loved it. The new Warpaints Fanatic ranges, it is spectacular. But we will see you guys next week. If you have any questions, you can message Dave and I. If you have any stuff you're working on, you can put it in the community page. Our community is really friendly. People will give you feedback if you need it. We will see you next week. And until then, do not forget to build, paint, play.
Shut up and sit down.